श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओं। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। शिवं शिवकरं शान्तं शिवात्मानं शिवोत्तमं शिवमार्गप्रणेतारं प्रणतोऽस्मि सदाशिवम्। आयुर्देहि धनं देहि विद्यां देहि महेश्वरी अभीष्टमखिलं देवि देहि मे परमेश्वरी। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। शरणागतदीर्नाथपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वशान्तिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं। मेघश्यामं पीतकौसेयवासं श्रीवत्साङ्गं कौस्तुभोद्भासिताङ्गं पुण्योभेतं पुण्डरीकायताक्षं विष्णुं वन्दे सर्वलोकैकनाथं। सशङ्खचक्रं सकिरीटकुण्डलं सपीतवस्त्रं सरसीरुहेक्षणं सहारवक्षस्थलशोभिकौस्तुभं नमामि विष्णुं शिरसा चतुर्भुजं। छायायां पारिजातस्य हेमसिंहासनोपरि आसीनमम्बुतस्यामम् आयदाक्षमलङ्कृतं चन्द्राननं चतुर्भागं श्रीवत्साङ्गितवक्षसं रुक्मिणी सत्यभामाभ्यां सहितं कृष्णमाश्रये। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन। रक्ष रक्ष महेश्वर रक्ष रक्ष महेश्वरी। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वं मरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनूमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। ॐ शुद्धस्फटिकसङ्काशं शुद्धविद्याप्रदायकं शुद्धं पूर्णं चिदानन्दं सदाशिवमहं श्रये। शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किंकरी यस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये। प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तं नृसिंहगुरुं भजे। श्रीसच्चिदानन्दशिवाभिनव्यनृसिंहभारत्यभिधान् यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान्। सदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखं नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीं। विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वं तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे। अज्ञानां जाह्नवीतीर्थं विद्यातीर्थं विवेकिनां सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये। भारतीकरुणापात्रं भारतीपदभूषणं भारतीपदमारूढं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये। विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीं। मालासुधाकुम्भविबोधमुद्रा विद्याविराजत्करवारिजाताम् अपारकारुण्यसुधाम्बुराशिं श्रीशारदाम्बां प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Today we will see the 33rd and 34th Acharyas of Sringeri Sri Sharadha Peetham. First we will start with 33rd Acharya, who is none other than Sri Sachidananda Shivabhinava Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal. The Mysore palace gun boomed at 9 o'clock in the evening, a normal routine procedure. But we have one special occasion in which Sivaswami, the young boy, the second son, was born to one Rama Shastrigal and Lakshmi Ammal. These devoted pair were living in Mysore. He was known as Kunigal Rama Shastri. He was an expert in Tarka Shastra. He had written a book in Tarka Shastra called Shatakoti. So he is called Shatakoti Rama Shastrigal. So such a scholarly person he was. For this pair, they were blessed with a second son. That was on 11th of March 1858. This Rama Shastrigal was very devoted to Sringeri Acharya Parampara. One day he went to Sringeri along with his first son, who was Lakshmi Narasimha Shastri. At that time he was just 15 years or 16 years, that boy. Acharya was very happy and impressed to see the Vedic mantra chanting of this boy. Acharya was appreciating his talents. This Rama Shastri was very scared because Acharya was so happy about his first son. So he was scared that he will ask him to be given to the mutt. So as soon as he came to Mysore, he got his son married to a suitable girl. So he has ensured that he cannot be sannyasi in Sringeri Matam. So he was happy. But then, as God desired, he got the second son also. Having heard this news that his wife is pregnant, it seems Vruddha Narasimha Bharati, he was the 32nd Acharya at that time. So he had asked, it seems, what Rama Shastri would do now. Indicating it was Acharya's Sankalpam. See, he could save the first son from sannyasa, but without his knowledge or anything, the second son he was blessed with. So that was Bhagavan's Sankalpam. Rama Shastri did Pumsavanam. Although it was not in their family history, it was not his Sampradaya, he preferred to do Pumsavanam because he wanted to get only the son, since he was above 50 years of age. As he expected, he was so confident in Vaidika Shastrams. Because he did Pumsavanam, he was so sure that God would bless him with a son only. When his wife was pregnant, he was, Rama Shastri, he was walking along with his friend one day. They were discussing various things. At that time, Rama Shastri was telling his friend that my wife is pregnant. I wanted to name this boy. So give me a suitable name in the name of Shiva. You know, you are coming from Tamil Nadu, Kumbakonam area, so you should know more names, so you can suggest. So this person was very surprised. He said, she is not yet born. So you are not sure whether it is a boy or girl. Why not you wait? You know better than me. He said, no, I have done Pumsavanam. Therefore, I will get only. So that was the devotion and that was the Shraddha in the karma of this person. The Vedokta mantrangal avlo Shraddha avarukku. So he was very sure he will be blessed. Then this person said, okay, we will name him as Sivaswami. That is a very good name. I have that. I will suggest. So this father also said, okay, we will call him Sivaswami as soon as he is born. So he is born, the son, and he was given the name of Sivaswami. Then this father did Jata Karma, Nama Karma, all the Vaidika Karmas properly. And this boy was going. Unfortunately, Father Rama Shastri passed away when the child was just 2 years. And the child lost his mother when he was about 5 years old. So the first eldest son, because he is already married, so he took care of the second son, that is his younger brother, and he was bringing him up. So when the right time came, he got him Upanayanam celebration ceremony also done. because this elder brother Lakshmi Narasimha Shastri was very learned, he has learned everything from his father. He was teaching him Shastrams and Veda to his younger brother. So Sivaswami was growing up with his elder brother, learning Tarka Shastram, Mimamsa Shastram and Vedanta Shastram also. In the meantime, the 32nd Acharya, Vruddha Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal, started his Vijay Yatra for South India. So he came to Mysore. It was in the year 1866, 8 years after Sivaswami was born. As soon as he came to Mysore, Acharya had sent a word to Mysore Maharaja asking him to bring that boy, Sivaswami, to him. Because he already knew he is a jnani. So then the word was sent to Lakshmi Narasimha Shastri. So he brought. Elder brother came along with his younger brother. So he was seated before Acharya. Acharya asked him what he wanted. So immediately Sivaswami told a slokam from Shiva Bhujangam, saying that the meaning of that slokam was Guru is everything. So he wanted only Guru to be with him. So he was very happy. Acharya was very happy. And at that time only he decided that he should be my Sishya. He decided and he told his desire to the elder brother who came along with him. This fellow was very shocked. He said, no, I am not ready to give up my younger brother. My father also would not have liked it, therefore I would not do. Then Acharya told him, see, if you look at his Jatakam, about 16 years of age, this boy will have some big problem, threatening a threat to his life also. If you give him for sannyas ashrama, then by Acharya, by Ambal's anugraham, his life could be saved because it is a second janma, for next janma for him. So there is a chance that he will be okay. So he sent him. Then Mysore Maharaja also spoke to this elder brother. So elder brother also thought, he discussed with his wife and all. Finally he said, okay, whatever the Acharya said, we will take. Because it is close relatives, son, brother and all those. It is very difficult to give them so easily up for sannyas ashrama. Because they cannot come back to grihastha ashrama. That we should be very, very carefully noting that. Once you go to sannyas ashrama, you cannot have that relationship with even your parents. Mata, if the sannyasi sees the mother, he has to do namaskaram to him, to her. But father, everybody is the same for him. Father, brothers, everybody. So it is not that easy for family people to give the son to sannyas ashrama. So he finally agreed. Then Acharya gave sannyasa diksha to this boy Sivaswami in Mysore itself. They did sannyasa svikara, sishya svikara. He was given sannyasa diksha as Sachidananda Shivavinava and Narasimha Bharati. This was the combination of Acharya's Guru, Abhinava Sachidananda Bharati, and Mysore Maharaja's Guru, Vruddha Narasimha Bharati. So combining these two, along with the name which was given to him before birth, that is Shiva, that also has to be included. Therefore, he was called Sri Sachidananda Shivabhinava Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji. So that is the reason why they gave this name to him. Then sannyasa rituals were over, very long Vaidika rituals, it was all over. In the evening, Mahaswamiji, wherever he was staying, he made some arrangements for the Sishya Swamigal to take rest. So he asked him, okay, you can sleep down in the evening, late in the evening, so you can lie down. The whole day was very tiring. So Sishya Swamigal also took rest. He slept off. Within few minutes, Mahaswamigal heard him saying, Sarvoham, Sarvoham, Sarvoham. That is the epic of Vedanta. That is, everything is me, Brahman. So even at that age, he was not even given Diksha or teaching by his guru, but then he was telling. So this Mahaswamigal was very, very happy. He was very satisfied that, Ambal has chosen the right person to be the Sishya of Sringeri Sharadha Peetham. So he was very happy that he chose the right person to be his Sishya. Then they spent Chaturmasya Vratam in a place called Paschima Vahini, which we saw some time back, which was near Mysore. And from there they continued their Vijay Yatra to South India. Vardhanarasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal ensured that all required shastrams like Tarkam, Kavyam, Vedanta, everything were taught to Shishya Swamigal even during the yatra without any break. And he also taught him personally. He took care of the Shishya Swamigal like a father. When the Shishya Swamigal was about 16 years of age, remember what Acharya told his elder brother. As he told, he fell sick. He was 16, about 16 years. At that time, they were near Nanjangod. So immediately Mahaswamigal went to Shrikanteshwarar temple, did an elaborate puja to the Murti, and prayed for the well-being of the Shishya Swamigal. He made a small prathimai of Shishya Swamigal out of gold, and then he placed it in Somaskanda Peetham in that temple, permanently in that temple. Maybe it is like a pariharam, I don't know. In the same evening, this Shishya Swamigal got all right. He recovered from the fever, and then he also went to the temple. He worshipped Bhagavan, and then everything became normal. So Acharya did not threaten his elder brothers. I hope you understand the meaning and context of Acharya's words. It was factual. It happened also. Luckily, he was in Sannyasa Ashrama. Luckily, he was under the custodianship of Mahaswamiji. So everything was all right. Then they continued their Vijay Yatra and traveled to many places, like very many places. Because in those days, the traveling was very arduous and very difficult. So every day they had to spend in one or two places, morning and evening. They had to do Nitya Anushtanams also. So difficult. So they had to travel to so many places: Coimbatore, Salem, Trichy, Madurai, Kanchipuram, Tirupati, and Chennai. He stayed in Chennai for 9 months. Both the Swamijis stayed. Then Kadapa and Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh, up to Andhra Pradesh they went. And they blessed all the devotees wherever they went. They had stayed in Madras for about 9 months. So many incidents and miracles had happened during the Yatra days. And I thought, as a sample, we'll give only one incident to show the Shishya Swamigal's Guru Bhakti towards his Acharya. When they were camping in Tirunelveli, Nellayappar Swami's temple elephant gets madam. That is, he turns into wild elephant. Suddenly he gets madam and he was running all around. Though people were very scared, they all preferred to stay indoors. They locked up their houses and they were all indoors. And this elephant was running here and there. People were all scared. This was informed to Acharya, who was in different place, not in the temple premises, who was in different place. And immediately Mahaswamiji called upon his Shishya Swamigal. He transferred some of the waters from his Kamandalu to Shishya Swamigal's Kamandalu. And then he told, go and bring the elephant to me. That's it. So immediately Shishya Swamigal got up. He was 16 years old at that time. So with that Kamandalu, he went in search of the elephant. He didn't know where it was. So some people said that it was there. And he went in South Car Street, South Mada Street, near the temple. He found the elephant. Immediately he sprinkled the water from his Kamandalu on the elephant. And like a cow or a cat, this wild elephant immediately brought down its raised trunk, and it was standing in front of this Acharya like a cat. Then holding its trunk, Swamigal brought the elephant to the Guru, Mahaswamigal. And then they did puja, and then the temple authorities were called, and they were handed over, the elephant was handed over to them. Then they took elephant back. All this was made possible only because of Guru Bhakti. He did not ask a single word to Mahaswamigal. The moment he got the orders, he executed. That's it. That was the Guru Bhakti of the Shishya Swamiji. After visiting some more places, both the Acharya and the Shishya Swamigal finally reached Sringeri on 27th of July 1877. And this Vijay Yatra lasted about 12 long years. So, Sachidananda Shivavinda Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal was 8 years when he was taken as Shishya. And then for 12 years he was traveling with his Guru. So when they all came back, He was about 20 years and his guru was about 80 years. People of Sringeri felt so happy, so they were celebrating this occasion like a festival, and they went to all the streets. They took Mahaswamigal on a golden mena, Pallak, and Sishya Swamigal on silver mena. So it was they were taken in all the streets, and finally they reached the Mata. When the Sishya Swamigal was taken in silver Pallak, there was only one small thought which came to his mind, and the thought went off. It is called vritti in Sanskritam. One small vritti came. A day will come when I also may have to travel on golden mena. This was the small thought. It just went off. He didn't bother about it. Then both the acharyals were brought to Mat premises. From the silver mena, Sishya Swamiji got down and went near golden mena, where Mahaswamigal was still sitting. He did not get down. After seeing the Sishya, he got down from the mena and then he asked Sishya Swamigal, என்ன சுவாமிகளுக்கு வந்து இந்த தங்க பல்லக்கில் உட்காரணும் போல ஒன்று தோணித்தோ அப்படின்னு he asked. So he was very, very surprised. That vritti came only for a second and went off. Even he did not remember that. But this Swamigal knew about it. So he said, it is not that easy to sit in this mena. You require a lot of tapas. With Ambal's anugraham, with our Guru's anugraham, you will get this tapas. Don't worry. Now you see what is the impact, what is the requirement for a person to sit. He asked some Matta officials to bring nell, husk, a handful of husk. He took and he spread it on the place where he was sitting in the mena. Immediately it became puri. So that was the heat on which he was sitting. So he said, it is because of tapas, which you will also get in due course. Now don't be in a hurry. That's it. That was the Upadesha from the teacher, from the Guru to Sishya Swamigal. Sishya Swamigal became very, very, overpowered with his Guru Bhakti. And then he also understood and he also resolved that I should also do a lot of tapas to earn that type of name as my Guruji. Then after coming back to Sringeri, Acharyal himself taught Brahma Sutra Bhashyam to Sishya Swamigal from beginning to end. And he did so many other Upadesha also. So many other Shastrams he taught. Acharyal was nearing 82 years, that is Vriddha Narasimha Bharati Swamigal, and he was becoming very weak day by day. He could not do his daily puja to Chandramalishwara Swamiji, Swamigal, Swami also. So it had to be done by the Sishya Swamigal. But Acharyal's mind was, as usual, alert, and it was very strong. One day when he was in Padmasana in Samadhi doing Atma Dhyanam, Sishya Swamigal touched his Guru's feet to take his Ashirvadam very gently and offered his prayer. Acharyal immediately pulled his feet and then asked him, what are you doing here? Why did you touch my feet? Because you touched it, it was very... It was burning. So, why it was so burning? It was because of the tapas of the Sishya Swamigal. So, even by that time, he had earned that tapas which he wanted to do the moment he came to Sringeri. Acharyal then attained Videha Mukti on 23rd of May 1879 when he was 82 years. At that time, Sishya Swamigal was just barely 22 years. He felt very sad after his Guru's Videha Mukti because from his early age of 8 years, his Guru only was taking care of him. He was like a father figure to him. And he taught him all the Shastrams, including Vedanta Shastra. So therefore he felt so bad and he was very, very sorrowful. He did not eat for the whole day. He did not drink water for the whole day. He made all the arrangements for the Adhishthanam to be built. Everything was done. But he was inside, internally he was feeling very bad because he lost his Guru. He was all the day he was thinking about his Karunyam, his qualities, etc. And in the evening, he slightly dozed off. Then immediately the dream came. When his guru in the dream, he came and he told him, "Why are you feeling so bad? Why you did not have food and water for the whole day? Where did I go? I am here only. So don't worry. I will always be with you. So get up and start doing your daily duties." So immediately he woke up and consoled himself that his guru is there, all pervading Brahman, and started doing his regular activities, regular duties. He continued to live in Sringeri, doing puja to his gurus Adhishtanam, Sharadamma, Chandramulishwara, studying Shastram and teaching to the deserving students. And 6 long years went off in this time. Then in December 85, Mysore Maharaja Chamraja Vodayar, Diwan Seshadri Iyer, and a British resident, Carlet, came to Sringeri and had darshan of Acharya. At that time, Acharya gave and placed a high valued Ratna Kritam to Maharaja, and with his own hands, he placed it on his head and blessed all of them. A request was made by Maharaja to Acharya Swamiji to come to Mysore and bless all the residents there. Then there was another request from one prominent devotee, Anna Sahib Vichrukar, who had earlier donated 5 golden kalasams to Vidyashankara temple. So he also had come at that time. So he requested Acharya to come to North India and bless all the people over there. So Guru said, Acharya said that without Sharadambal's permission, I will not go out to any place. So we will wait for the right time to come and then we will see what, as per the directions, I will come. Then one day he found a Bana Lingam on the Adhishtanam. Shiva, in the Lingam he was praying, there is a small Bana Lingam. He didn't know who kept, and it was there. So then he took it as a sign that he got the permission from his Guru to start doing Vijayatra. Then he told his desire to his Sishyas, and then they made all the arrangements. Acharya left Sringeri on 5th February 1886 and went to Sachidanandapura, Shivamoga. It was towards west and north. Gokarna, he stayed there for 2 months and reached Bombay via Dharwad. On 16th September 87, he reached Jamkanti, Samsthan, and the Raja there, Ramachandra Rao Abba Sahib. That Raja went about 3 kilometers from his hometown to receive Acharyas. So that was his respect. With reverence, he had requested Acharya to stay there for a few months. Acharya also promised to be there for a few months as per his request. And then this Maharaja promised to undertake the responsibility of celebrating Navaratri functions on one particular day, that is Mula Nakshatra. That was his Nakshatra. So one day he said he will take care of all the expenses in Sringeri, and he had allocated rupees 1,000 every year. That was the day. Those days 1,000 rupees was such a big amount. Then he did Pada Puja with the golden coins and also gave silver throne to Acharya to sit. And he had requested Acharya to put his feet on the head of his son and bless him while getting onto the throne, silver throne. Acharya also did, and they were all very happy. Then Acharya visited many places like Miraj, Sangali, Kolhapur. And in Kolhapur, Acharya stayed for a few weeks. He had darshan of Mahalakshmi Ambal, and he made Upanyasa in Sanskritam for all those places nearby. So they were all very happy. He went up to Pune, but he could not continue his journey because he realized that there were some difficulties in his Acharya Anushtanam, Acharam and Anushtanam, daily Anushtanams were difficult to maintain for him. Therefore, he said, it is okay, I will go back to Sringeri. Then he had to return. Then he had completed Chaturmasya Vratam in Bellary, which was dominated by Lingayats, who were not very friendly with Advaitins. But still, because Acharya was there, they were very friendly with the whole group, and they made all the arrangements to ensure that Acharyal's visit and stay was smooth and comfortable. And he did his Chaturmasya Vrata there. And he then, in that place, Mysore Diwan Seshadri Iyer came, and he was very fortunate to learn Brahma Sutra Bhashyam from Acharyal himself. Then Acharyal camped in a place called Belaguppa, near Bellari, where some very bad incident happened. Some thieves entered the houses of those people and they stole a lot of items. They stole a copper box which contained Chandramolishwara, Ratnagarbha Ganapati, and a white conch, Shankam. So many things were kept, and they just took that box along with the murtis also. Rudrakshams, silver vessels, Valampuri conch, Swarna Ganapati, so many things they took away. People did not realize. In the morning, when the theft was reported to Acharya, Acharya felt very, very bad and he felt very sorrowful. He did not speak to anyone. He took bath and sat with wet clothes and started doing Narasimha Mantra Japam. For hours together, for days together, he did. From morning 6 o'clock, he sat until 10 o'clock in the night. He was just doing this Mantra Japam. He did not take water or food for the day. 2 days went off like that. On the third day, one inspector came and sought the blessings of Acharya that he should find all the lost items, and he went in search of them. On the fifth day, they got the news that the inspector had found all the lost items in a field which was about 5 miles from the place where they had camped. All the staff rushed to this place, and they were very relieved to find the very important Chandramolishwara, Mahaganapati there, and white conch. So other things, some of them were found, some of them were not found. That is all okay. But these were the very important items, murtis. So they were very happy. And all of a sudden, it started raining. They got drenched in the rain, and they brought the murtis to the mutt. After seeing the copper box and the Aradhana murtis, tears ran down from the eyes of Acharya. He called the inspector and physically hugged him. He put his hands on the inspector's head and he blessed him. It was like Bhagavan Ramachandra Murthy did Alinganam to Anjaneya Mahaprabhu on breaking the news of having seen Sita Devi in Sri Lanka. See, such was the connection with Acharya to Chandramolishwara. He did Visesha Puja to Chandramolishwara from evening to early morning, like Mahashivratri. Chandramolishwara was very precious and very special because Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada, he himself got all these lingams. He got 5 lingams and Ratnagarbha Ganapati from Parameshwara himself. And from the 5 lingams, he gave 1 to Chidambaram. And other 4 he gave to all 4 Peethadipatis, Chaduramnaya Peetham, for doing daily puja. So that was very special for Acharyals. Also this Chandramolishwara is not a mere Sphatika It had the properties of Ratnam also. Even today it has the properties of Ratnam, and Chandra Kanti is, you can see it on the head of Chandramolishwara. That is why it is so precious to all the Acharyas, and it is very natural that he was very relieved to get the Murti back. Then he decided to rush back to Sringeri at once. He came back, and in his Guru's Adhishtanam, he kept all the Murtis and he sought his Guru's blessings. Then for the next 2 years, Acharya was staying in Sringeri, going about his daily routines, daily puja, dhyanam, teaching, and Atma Dhyanam also, blessings to devotees who coming to Sringeri. As per Sharadambal's direction, Acharya had decided to go on Yatra to Rameshwaram from 1891. After 2 years, he left. On 26th of June 1891, he started his Vijay Yatra to Rameshwaram. He went to Kigga, where Risheshringa Maharishi did tapas. Then Chikmagalur, Hasan, reached Mysore. Once again, Mysore Maharaja was there. His children, people worshipped Acharya with reverence. There is a very strong connection with Mysore Maharaja, Mysore and Sringeri, because Mysore Maharaja was one person who even today supporting Sringeri in all times, at all times, good or bad, whatever it is. His family was always involved. So all the Acharyas have a special place for Mysore Maharaja and family. They celebrated Chaturmasya Vratam, Navaratri functions in Mysore. Mahaganapati Vakyartha Sabha, it was started by this Sri Sachidananda Shiva Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal. And it was conducted in a grand manner with so many Pandits coming from different parts of India participating in the Sabha. Acharya also taught so many things like Vigraha Aradhanam, Avatara Rahasyam, importance of Veda to all the devotees on so many days. About 4 months have gone in this manner. Then he left Mysore, stayed in Shiva temple in a place called Chikkayan Chattiram and went to Nanjangud. Once again the same Shrikanteshwara temple. He stayed there for 22 days doing puja to the Murti. Then he went to many places and he reached Talakaveri. He did Visesha Puja to Kaveri Amman and with gold coins. Reached Paschima Vahini. And then he reached Satyamangalam, where they celebrated Chaturmasyam. They went to Gopichettipaliyam, Navaratri function was celebrated. Then he consecrated Lord Subramanya temple, built by one Bhakta, Sivakoluntu Mudaliyar, in Gopichettipaliyam. Then he went to Bhavani, Erode, Karur and reached Ayyampalayam near Trichy, where at the request of one devotee, Tandavaraya Pillai, he did Bhumi Puja and other necessary puja for construction of Subramanya Swami temple in Ayyampalayam. He guided them to include Vishnu and Shiva also in the temple, along with Subramanya Swami, and told them that they should complete this project before he returned from Rameshwaram. That was the direction he gave. And then he reached Kolumam, which is also called Varadarajapuram in Coimbatore Jilla. Chaturmasya Vratam was celebrated. Navaratri was celebrated in a place called Kadattur Agraharam. See, they are going to so many places, and wherever they go, the right time comes, they will do the functions. That's it. Then he reached Palani. He stayed there for a few days, did puja to Lord Subramanya Swami there, and came to Madurai via Dindigal. As per the regular practice, he stayed in Kalyana Mandapam, Meenakshi Sundareswara temple, Kalyana Mandapam, as per the existing practice. Ramanathapuram Raja or Zamindar, Bhaskara Setupati came for his darshan, requested Acharya to bless his town by visiting on his way back, because there was no time he had to go to Rameshwaram. So Acharya agreed for that. Then went to Dhanushkoti, stayed there for 3 days. And Bhaskara Setupati made all the arrangements for Rameshwaram visit. He undertook all the expenses and everything. And then he did Setu Snanam, gave away various danams. Then came to Rameshwaram, did puja to Ramanatha Swami there, blessed all the devotees. Then he came to Ramanathapuram. As per the request of Bhaskara Setupati, did Chaturmasya Vrata and Navaratri celebrations also were done in Ramanathapuram. See, there was a practice of giving Sahasra Jiva Bali. That means 1000 Jivas were given as Bali to Rajarajeshwari Amman on one of the Navaratri days. That was old existing practice. But this Raja wanted to change the practice. He was not happy with giving Bali. So accordingly, he requested Acharya as to what to do. Then he replied that he will tell him the next day. Immediately he said he would not. Next day, because it's an existing practice. So he said, one day you give me. On the same night, Acharya had a dream in which one dirty looking lady appeared in his dream with the broomstick in one hand and a madhu bhanam, that is a vessel with madhu on the other hand. And she said, I am going from this place. After a few minutes, Sumangali with Sarva Bharana Bhushitama, Nanna Alangaram Pandindu or Nalla Paditha Sumangali came in his dream and he said, I am coming. Then Acharya took this as Ambal's directive and he informed Setupati Raja accordingly. That is, that existing practice should be stopped and the new practice should be started. That he will do. So he told this Raja accordingly. Then he made one Sri Chakram, he Pratishtha Paninar on the Edathila and the Kovilla, and he brought down the Ugram of Rajarajeshwari to Santa Swaripini and did various special pujas with his own hands. It's not so simple to change the Ugra Murti to Shanta Murti so easily. So Acharya took the responsibility and he did so many pujas and he did that. And he made arrangement for daily puja by making Setupati Raja give one village for this purpose, for daily puja. Then he specially arranged to bring two Brahmanas from Sringeri itself to do the daily puja in that Ambal's temple. And then he blessed the king and the devotees. Then Acharya understood. See, there is another thing, Laukikam, that this Raja was in the habit of spending money without much of reasons. And therefore, the kingdom could not sustain for longer time if this Raja had to continue this habit. Therefore, what he did was, he told the king to give away his kingdom to him as Guru Dakshina. Raja also readily accepted, and he gave the entire kingdom to Guru Dakshina, to Acharya. And then the next day, Acharya called the Darbar, Raja's Darbar, and Acharya was seated in the king's place. Then he called Rajeshwara Muthuramalinga Setupati, who was the son of this Raja. He was a prince. So he called him and he gave him the kingdom in front of his father. He was very much alive. Look at that. So he got as Guru Dakshina, whatever he got, he gave everything back to this person, to the son, and made him the king. At the request of the king, Acharya retained 5 villages. He gave so many villages, but Acharya took only 5 villages for Sringeri Mutt. He gave away Ratnakritam to the king and blessed all the family members, and then he left for Kovilur. Acharya came to know the sudden demise of Mysore Maharaja in Kolkata. He felt very sad for that. Then he reached Tirunelveli in 1895, went to many villages and blessed all the devotees. He went to Sandhya Mandapam in Tamraparni. There thousands of Brahmins had gathered. They made Acharya to sit in the golden palanquin, and they themselves had lifted the palanquin with the Veda mantrams and Vadyams. It was a great festival for them. After staying in Tirunelveli for some days, Acharya went to Bana Tirtham. See, these are the places where Acharya did the second visit also. And subsequently, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal also, he went to so many places, almost the same places. Then the Bana Tirtham in charge was Singampatti Zamindar. He did not have any children. So Acharya blessed him with Santana Bhagyam and went to different other places and finally reached Sringeri on 29th of June 1895. So 4 years it lasted, Rameshwaram trip. After reaching Sringeri, Acharya was very disturbed by seeing the reduction of Astikya Buddhi and the Karma Anushtanams among the people. And there was increase in Nastika ideas even among Brahmanas. He felt very, very bad. He wanted to change, but he didn't know how to do it because it was a very big task. So finally he left everything to Bhagavan. It is Ishvara's job, so let me not do much of it. So whatever I can do, I will do. So that is what he decided. Then he did elaborate puja to Sharadha on 27th of July 1895. He started one Veda Patashala in Sringeri called Sadvidya Sanjeevini. See, this is what he started. From his side, he wanted to spread the Veda and Shastram to many people. He admitted students, he appointed teachers, and he himself started teaching Vedanta Shastram to qualified students. He had completed Prasthanatraya Bhashyam, that is, Bhashyam on Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. So for these Bhashyams, he taught the deserving candidates. In 3 years, he completed all the Prasthanatraya Bhashyam with lot of interest. Then Acharya was keen on living seclusion. He didn't want to get more connected with people. So slowly he wanted to move himself away from the Jananadamatam. So he chose to go to the other side of Tunga, which was never used by that time. It was a forest with a lot of wild animals. Absolutely there was no livelihood. So he decided to move to the other side. Another concern with Acharya was he saw some coffee shops. He told his Sishyas, coffee kadaila ondurthupa Shringerila, and I am seeing some Brahmanas also eating coffee there. So I am very much disturbed. Therefore I wanted to go and stay in the other side of Tungarati. So even for them, the change of days, very difficult to take it. Then he made arrangements. There was one Parnasala was built for his stay. This place, he named it after his Gurunatha, Vruddha Narasimha Bharati, he called it as Narasimha Vanam. He stopped using gold, silver vessels. He started using simple vessels for doing puja. He started living as a very ordinary, normal sannyasi. He did not want to live a life of a Peethadipati. So he moved to that place, that is Narasimhavanam, on 24th September 1899. Then Mysore Maharaja visited Sringeri along with assistants and Fraser, one English teacher. Fraser was very much moved with Acharyal's simplicity, depth of knowledge, and clarity of thinking. He spent many hours discussing various issues with Acharyals, and he had mentioned in his book, when we received the guests in our house, we used to offer tea or coffee so that they get relaxed, they will get refreshments. Whereas when I met Acharyal, he made me, like very refreshing by his Upadesha. He said, Ananda Amritam, coming out of his compassionate heart. See, he was a British and he could understand Acharyal's status and teaching also. Even in Narasimhavanam, Acharyal felt that the place was not secluded. So he went further down, some 2-3 miles away, there is a place called Narasimha Parvatam. He used to sit there in dhyanam for many hours without anybody, where a lot of wild animals used to go and come. So he was not bothered about anything. One day when doing puja in the night, the gods saw 2 tigers in the very nearby place. They were approaching or they were just staring at this place. Acharya was doing Chandramanishwara puja and these gods were having gun also. But then they got so scared after seeing these tigers. So they immediately jumped and hid themselves behind the puja mandapam. Then Acharya completed the puja. Then the tigers went off. Then this god also appeared, so as if they have done the job. Acharya was never moved by any of them. And on one of the days when he was teaching his students, he realized that the students were not concentrating on the teaching. So then he asked what is happening. Then they said they could see a sarpam, a snake, beneath the palahai where Acharya was seated. So Acharya continued with his Shastra teaching and then he lifted slowly one side and then he took his left hand also behind this, beneath the palaga, and then he lifted himself so that the snake could easily go through that. So everybody was worried that the snake will bite him and all this. Nothing had happened, just went off. So that was the Ahimsa Nishtai in Yoga Shastra. Acharya had treated all jivas alike and he was a true Jivan Mukta. It is very worth remembering the Ashirvadam done by his Guru Vruddha Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji, that he would attain the status of Sadashiva Brahmendral. And it was very true also. One day when Acharya was in Samadhi, a wild fly stuck his thigh and made a hole with its sharp koduk tooth. And the blood was oozing out. Acharya did not realize that. Only after coming out of Samadhi, he realized. And that was his status. This physical body is really like a trinam for these jnanis. Even during Vijayatra, on many occasions after doing puja and namaskaram, he would sit on dhyanam and he would lose the Dvaita Bhavam and he would become one with the Brahman, Atma Bhavam. The Mutt employees would have to sound bell or chandi to distract Acharya to come out of the Samadhi Nishta. But he was so Karuna Murti, he would not get angry with them, so he will say, okay, fine. So he had removed the diseases, physical disease as well as mental health of many people by giving vibhuti or kungumam or akshate or tirtha prasadam, by chanting his Guru's name. Everything he would deliberate, he will just give it to his Guru. He did not take anything for himself. He would say, everything I got from Guru, therefore I am submitting everything to Guru. And everybody would get treated without exception. Then when one evening when he was doing puja to his Guru's Adhishtanam, he was, after puja is over, then the Abhishekam and all is over, he put that silver kavacham. In those places, people who have said, the Shiva Lingam will have the mustache. So one Sishya, when watching this the silver kavacham, he felt, he was a Brahmajnani, this Vardhanarasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji, so he was a Brahman, he was all with everything, he was pervading all along. So why should they give kavacham and with the murti face and that too with the mustache and all? He was thinking in his mind. But Acharya was doing puja. Puja was over, he got up, he came out, and then he asked the Sishya, now you are wondering about this whole Brahman and this Sagunam, this Rupam. Only this mustache is a problem for you or what? This whole Rupam was given, but you were bothered about the mustache. So don't worry about all those. It's all, he's a Nirguna Brahman. So Acharya was like a Brahman. So don't worry. So he went off. And when Banaras University, Hindu University was launched, Madan Mohan Malavya, he had sent one person from Vedic Pandit all the way from Banaras to Sringeri to seek the blessings of Mahaswamiji. In fact, he had requested Swamiji to come to Benares to inaugurate BHU. But then Acharya told that in such a short time he could not travel to Kasi. But then he said, I have more important my Acharya's Padugai with me. I will give and bless. So whatever you wanted, you could, everything will be done with Lokakshemam. And a lot of people will study in your Hindu university and it will be there for many centuries. So don't worry, you will go. Like that only he made the Ashirvata and sent this person. Even today, when Sri Sannidhanam went to Kasi, he visited Banaras Hindu University. He did puja to Vardhanarasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal's Padukai. Even today it is being there. It is done. Puja is done to that Padukai. So Acharya spent 12 long years, 1895 to 1907 in Sringeri. And then he wanted to do very important things in his life, that is Adi Shankaracharya. He wanted people to have more bhakti towards Adi Shankaracharya. So he wanted to find out the exact birthplace of Acharya. Today we know where he was born. Kaladi, that particular place we know. Because of the great work done by Sri Sachidananda Shiva Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal. So he expressed his desire to first of all find out the exact birthplace of Acharya and then build a temple to Adi Shankaracharya and Sharadamba. He discussed his desire to Diwan Seshadri Iyer and the other officials. Seshadri Iyer, luckily he was from Kerala. Therefore, he readily undertook the project and he immediately went to Thiruvananthapuram Samsthanam. Then he took a lot of people with him, did lot of efforts. It was a very, very struggle for them actually, because the whole place was with a lot of thorns and bushes and trees and all those. So many thousands of years back, 1,100 years back, Adi Shankaracharya did Avatara. And because of the curse he made, many people could not live in Kaladi, particularly Brahmanas could not live in Kaladi because they did not support Acharya for doing Antyeshta Karma for his mother. You remember the first day when he told. So Kaladi was, it is just gone. Nobody could recognize him. So it was a lot of struggle for these people. But because of Acharya's Anugraham, they could find out the exact location and all those. They told Mahaswamigal about this. He felt so happy, but he could not go immediately to Kaladi. He wanted to promote his project among the people. Therefore, he sent one highly learned scholar, Nadukaveri Brahmashri Srinivasa Shastrigal, and he asked him to go to Kaladi every year during the birthday of Adi Shankaracharya, that is Vaishaka Shukla Panchami, with other Vaidikas, and made elaborate arrangements to do puja, homa, Danam, so many things, religious discourses, everything. This continued for 9 years. 9 years he could not go. So in the meantime, unfortunately, the Seshadri Iyer and Srinivasa Shastrigal passed away. But fortunately, there was one VP Madhava Rao who was very much devoted to Acharya. He was serving as a minister in Mysore Maharaja's court. And he was appointed as Diwan in Thiruvananthapuram Samsthanam. There was another person called Ramachandra Iyer. He was Mysore High Court judge, who was also equally devoted to Acharya. Both of them came forward to take up this project. where Shrikanta Shastri, along with Shrikanta Shastrigal, they did lot of work along with the Tirunananthapuram Samsthanam officials, and they have completed this temple. They were doing lot of documentation work, clearing up this place, administrative work. So many things had to be done. So everything was done properly, and it was duly reported to Acharya. He felt so happy, and he said, "Let us build the temple, and then I will come there for Kumbhabhishekam." Then temple building arrangements were also taken care of. Then Acharya decided to start his Vijaya Yatra. 18th January 1907, he started his Vijaya Yatra to Kaladi. Then he went to same places. He went to Devakotai, Kunnakudi, Tirupattur, and then once again Naguneri, Kanyakumari. And then finally he reached Perumbavoor, a village which was near Kaladi. When he was in Perumbavoor, Acharya had a dream in which one widow appeared and told Acharya that she was under a tree. She was waiting under a tree, and she came to invite Acharya. He could not understand who it was. But the next day, he met Shrikanta Shastri. Shrikanta Shastri was known as Sarvadhikari of Srimatha. Today we can say CEO or Dharmadhikari or any name, but he was called Sarvadhikari for everything, administrative and so many other, even puja karyams, he was in charge, Shrikanta Shastri. So learned person. He served this mutt for more than 40 years. He, along with his brother, there was Krishna Shastri. So both of them did wonderful service to mutt. Then they all came to Acharya. They explained about the whole topography of Kaladi. They also told him where Aryambal's last rites were performed. And there was an Ashoka tree, they told. Then Acharya recollected his dream, because this widow told him that I am waiting for you under the tree. That Ashoka tree was that. So he connected his dream with whatever the information he got from all these people on the ground. Then he told all those people who were gathered about his dream. So he said, we got the anugraham from Shankaracharya and his mother for this noble job. Therefore, what we are doing is right. This place, what we have chosen, is the right place. Therefore, we will go ahead and do everything as per the Shastra. Then he said, next day I will come there. On 11th of February 1910, 3 years after leaving Sringeri, he reached Kaladi at 8 a.m., worshipped first of all Aryambal's Samskara Sthalam, and then in the evening he visited Yagashala, Bhojanasala, everything, and he saw a lot of so many arrangements that were made. He was very happy to see the elaborate arrangements made to accommodate thousands of devotees. About 600 temporary houses were built in those days, 1910. Just imagine. A road was laid. So many and lighting arrangements were made. It was like Bharadwaja Muni. He made elaborate arrangements to entertain Bharatalvar on his return to on his way to Ramayana. In the Ramayana, when they came to see Rama, so it was almost like that. Most of these arrangements were taken care of by Sishyas from Tirunelveli, and in Jnanananda Bharati Swamigal's book, it was written that more so, particularly from Kalidai Kurishi. Incidentally, I belong to Kalidai Kurishi. I'm not saying only because of that, but then it was written, therefore I just shared it. That's it. So, on 21st February 1910, Kumbhabhishekam of Adi Shankaracharya and Sharadha Ambal temple was celebrated in a grand manner. Thousands of people came, and many dignitaries, many kings from Gaikwad and all those people, Maharaja, Mysore Maharaja, so many people came. And in that function, Acharya blessed everybody. And then he gave Ramachandra Iyer, the judge, blessed him with the Guru Bhakta Kesari. And Srirangam Vani Vilas Press, they were doing yeoman service by printing publications. A lot of books they were released, and on that occasion, they released Sri Sachidananda Shivabhena Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal's work. That is the entire work of Adi Shankaracharya. Sri Sachidananda Bharati, Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal gathered everything in one place, and then he made them to publish a book called Shankara Granthavali. That book was released on that particular day by Vani Vilas Press. Therefore, he awarded T.K. Balasubramanya Iyer with Guru Bhakta Shikhamani, and all of them were blessed with the shawls, Rudraksham, everything. Then Acharya spent a few days in Kaladi, and then he went to so many different places. He went to one Nandi Pettam, a small village where he had visited with his guru in the earlier days. He took bath in Amrita Sarovaram, wearing only kaupinam. He had vibhuti all over his body, sat down for japa and dhyanam for hours together in that place. Because the water was very cold, Acharya suffered heart pain, and they reached Chikkapallapuram. Then he took a rest for a few days to get out of that problem. And then they came back to Sringeri. On the way to Sringeri, they reached Bangalore. There, Acharya told Madhav Rao, and he informed Mysore Maharaja also, that he wanted to build an university, Samskrita Patasala also there, Bharatiya Kirvana Prauda Vidya Vidyabhivartini. That is the name of that university for higher studies of Sanskritam and Shastram. He wanted them to build it. Immediately, that Madhav Rao offered 7 new houses he had built with an intention of giving as dhanam to Brahmanas. But he realized that this was the right opportunity for him, and then he offered everything to Mahaswamigal, said that you can take everything for this project. And Acharya was so happy. He blessed him. He said that you have a very uttama gunam and audaryam. So he blessed him, and then he went to Shivamoga, Tirthahalli, and reached Sringeri on 16th March 1911 after completing 4 years of yatra. Then continued his stay in Sringeri with all his daily routines. In the meantime, his physical health was deteriorating. The cold and cough that was disturbing Acharya for the past few years in the winter days had once again started disturbing, giving more problems. He wanted to nominate his Sishya to the Peetham, wanted to hand over all the mutt activities to him. He had already identified one Narasimha Shastri, son of Sringeri Gopala Shastri. But Narasimha Shastri, when we will see Chandramacharya Bharati Mahaswamigal ji, at that time we will tell. So he was sent to this Bangalore University by Acharya himself for higher studies. So he had to be brought from Bangalore to Sringeri. Word was sent, a person was sent, that is Krishna Shastri. He himself went. And he told he was ready to come. He told they were coming. And then a word was sent to Mysore Maharaja about Acharya's ill health and also his desire to nominate his Sishya. Everything had to be done. But in those days, no telephone and all those. Some people had to go in person or some telegram, So they also were doing a lot of arrangements, but his health was deteriorating. On 20th of March 1912, around 11 a.m., Acharya had attained Videha Mukti at the age of 54 years. That's it. Immersing all devotees, mutt employees, even animals in sorrow, deep sorrow. Immediately his adhishtanam was arranged in Narasimhavanam, near the ashram where he was staying all these days. Krishna Shastri and Narasimha Shastri could reach Sringeri only the day after. Unfortunately, this Narasimha Shastri, who was the next Peethadipati, he could not get sannyasa swikaram from his Acharya himself. But then he got so famous, he was so fantastic. He earned all the tapas by himself, of course, with the blessings of his Guru and Sharadha. So on 7th April 1912, Narasimha Shastri was given sannyasa ashrama at the age of 20 years with all Vedic rituals, and he was given Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati as Yoga Pattam in the presence of Mysore Maharaja and many other dignitaries. Next day, he was seated in Vyakhyana Peetham And proper Pattabhishekam was conducted in a grand manner. He was the 34th Peethadipati. Then the disciples who had gathered to pay their respects to Jagadguru's Adhisthana and to erect a shrine, they entrusted this responsibility to Sri Kanta Shastri, and immediately rupees 30,000 was collected from the devotees who had gathered there. One Ramaswamy Chettiar, son of Chidambaram Chettiar of Kanadu Katan, who was completing the shrine of Sharadha at that time in Sringeri, he undertook this project of erecting this Adhishtanam for Sri Sachidananda Sivabhinna Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal in Narasimhavanam. When both the shrines had been completed and they were ready, a date was fixed, that is Vaishaka Shukla Prathamai in 1916. That was the day fixed for the installation of murtis and consecration of temple and Adhishtanam. Mysore Maharaja and so many other people came once again. Now they had two purposes. One is to have darshan of new Peethadipati and also visiting Adhishtanam and new Sharada Ambal temple also. The 33rd Acharya, Sri Sachidananda Sivabhinna Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal, was undoubtedly an incarnation of Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada himself. Therefore, he is known as Abhinava Shankara. He was a scholar and a poet par excellence. He had composed innumerable slokams, kirtana on Bhagavan, and his works have been published in a book form aptly named Bhakti Sudha Tarangini. The entire works of Adi Shankaracharya, as I told a few minutes back, got published as Shankara Granthavali by Vani Vilas Press only due to his efforts. He gave special respect, Philip, for learning Vedas and Shastram, and he started Sadvidya Sanjeevini, Samskrita Mahapatashala in Sringeri, and also one university, Bharatiya Girvana Prauda Vidya Abhivardhini in Bangalore. He initiated the tradition of conducting Shastra Vidvat Sadas, Mahaganapati Vakyartha Sabha, and honoring Pandits and scholars coinciding with Ganesha Chaturthi. These were in short, these were the achievements of 33rd Acharya. And now we will see Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal's Charitam. Although I have few minutes, I will take 10 more minutes extra. Purvashrama name for Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal was Narasimha. He was born on 16th October 1892 on Ekadashi day to Gopala Shastrigal and Lakshmi Ammal. They had 14 children, but unfortunately Narasimha was the only surviving son. Unfortunately they lost all the other children, so they were scared whether this Narasimha would survive long. So the parents went to Acharyal, Sachidananda Sivabhinna Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji, and told him to take care of his son. They did not want to bring up as their son for the fear that they would lose him also. Because imagine a plight of parents losing so many children, and only one child was surviving. So such was their condition. So immediately Acharya did blessings to them. Don't worry, we will take care. And he told Sri Kanta Shastri to take care. Sri Kanta Shastri was so happy to take care of the child. So he was bringing up as his own son. So Narasimha was devoted to Ishvara and Bhagavan right from his childhood days as his natural gunam. He was always immersed in Deva Bhakti. In his younger days, when he was sent to marketplace to get some items, he was chanting Mukha Panchasati. It was a very big slokam. So he was chanting and he was going on, and he forgot where he was and all those. He crossed Sringeri borders also. And then suddenly he realized, he was away for a long distance. So he felt very shy and then he came back. He got so immersed because he was devoted to Bhagavan all the time. See, not without reasons, he was chosen as the next Peethadipati. So the Jnanis, they know what is the status of this person. He was studying in government school, initially in elementary school, but because of Acharyal's direction, Acharyal only directed, that is Sachidananda Sivabhinna Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal knew that this person would be my Sishya. But he had not told at the very young age. He had kept it in his mind. And he directed Srikanta Shastri to take him to Sadvidya Sanjeevini, where he should be taught only the Vaidika Shastra teaching, Sanskritam and all those Shastrams. Then he was transferred to that school. He finished that school. He was so intelligent, so he could finish it everything within few years. And Acharya himself took personal interest in this boy. He told him to go to this Bangalore University and go for higher studies. Um, Sachidananda Shivabhendra Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal prayed Sharadambal and Chandramolishwara, and he had composed 3 or 4 slokams only to give Sarvajnam to Narasimha. A small line I will read. Sarvajnam Shri Narasimham Kuru Shiva Dayite Satvaram Madvinamram. You give immediately. Let him attain the status of Sarvajna. That was his prayer towards Narasimha. So he had already decided that he would be his Sishya. Then all this happened before Kaladi Yatra. Kaladi Yatra finished and got finished. Then he came back. He got the progress report of the students. He was very happy to see Narasimha's progress. So everything was going as per the directions, as per the ideas of Acharya. In the words of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, Abhinava Vidyatirtha Mahaswamiji, the 35th Acharya, he was telling about his guru, Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji. Let us read this. I have taken down from Jnanananda Bharati Swamigal's composition. In his words, in Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam's words, my Parama Guru, Sri Sachidananda Shivabhendra Narasimha Bharati, had the habit of examining his students and teachers while going on tour. He once told the teachers, I will give the 4th quarter of your verse, and I will ask you people to fill up the first 3 quarters, and you submit this verse when I come back from my yatra. He gave them the 4th quarter. Narasimha, as a student, he was listening to this Acharya's word very, very intently. He had retained everything in his mind. No notes could be written, okay? Only in the memory. It was there in the memory. Those were the days. So, Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, that is Acharya's writing. My Guru, that is Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji, had completed the verse and kept this verse with him. He had completed long time back. When the Acharya was camping in Belagola, almost at the end of Kaladi Yatra, Acharya has asked all those present whether you could complete this verse. Nobody could answer. They all felt very bad that they could not complete it. Then somebody said, this Narasimha had completed. Narasimha was very shy. He was standing in a corner because it was addressed only to the teachers, not to the students. He was a student, you should remember that. Then they took the paper and gave it to Acharya. Then he read that slokam and Acharya was so moved. He said, I wanted to write on Shiva, but this Narasimha had written on Dakshinamurti. What a brilliant student Narasimha is. Then, so Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam saying, that is the Drishti Diksha, initiation by my Paramaguru. By glance, he gave Diksha to my Guru. Then Shankara Bhagavad Pada, you can compare Shankara Bhagavad Pada's history also. By his mind itself, he imparted all the knowledge to Anandagiri. Anandagiri was not a very qualified person or anything like that. But the moment he decided, Adi Shankaracharya imparted all the knowledge only through his mind. That moment he became a jnani. And then he wrote the Totakashtakam. So it is not impossible. It has not happened. It has happened. So here also it has happened. What happened in the case of my Guru? Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam is saying, when my Paramaguru felt that his body had served the purpose, he sent a word for my Guru through Krishna Shastri. He had made the resolve, that is my Paramaguru, I shall give sannyasa to Narasimha. How is it known such a resolve was made? The following incident will reveal. That is, these are the words of Abhinav Vidhyatita Mahaswamiji. Every evening, my Parama Guru, Sachidananda Shivabhina Narasimha Bharati, used to go to Kala Bhairava temple, and on the way, he used to chant Antyakshari verses. The last syllable of a verse must be the first syllable of the next verse. That is Antyakshari. And used to discuss some spiritual topics with very few students who used to accompany him. One day, Markandeya Brahmachari, Shivananda, and my Guru, that is Narasimha in the Purashrama, accompanied my Guru, Paramaguru, and they were students. Reverentially, they were seated in front of Kala Bhairava temple. He looked at my Guru's face and he chanted 3 verses. That meaning of those 3 verses was to take up sannyasashrama, not to get into grihasthashrama, follow the teachings of Upanishads, inquire for long about the absolute truth, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, flowing from the mouth of Sadguru, and you cross over samsara ocean. This was the meaning of the 3 slokas chanted by my Paramaguru by looking at my Guru's face. So, Jeshta Mahasannidhanam said, my Guru had obtained initiation with sight and obtained the advice contained in the words. My Guru thought for whose sake Acharya told, that is Narasimha as a student, he was thinking, why Acharya told these verses by looking at my face. There were 3 people. Were it related to them or to me? Then he realized that those 2 people were not in the, in that race or whatever it is. They were not the qualified people. Therefore, it should have been addressed only to me. And then immediately he started memorizing these verses in his mind. So prior to sending my Guru for higher studies to Bangalore Matta College, my Paramaguru initiated him into a Maha Mantra called Neelakantha Trayakshari. That is, Sachidananda Shivabhina Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji called Narasimha, the student, and gave him Mantra Diksha. And the meaning, and then he also told, the meaning of earning God's grace for you and for those whom you shall teach. This is the mantra I am giving you. So you chant and you will get the grace. My Guru's parents had no other children, and so my Paramaguru was so compassionate, and he had sent the parents also to Bangalore along with my Guru. He told my Guru before leaving, you are studying, it must not be for sake of money. Then for what for? He was to study. For the sake of acquiring knowledge, and only for acquiring knowledge. The prime knowledge is realization of the self. This should accrue to you, and that is why I am sending you for higher studies. Not for making money or for getting into any other ashrama and all those. Come back to sannyas ashrama. That is what his intention was. He did not tell openly, but he had this much he had told. It is not for making money. Then after taking up sannyas ashrama, like all those days are over, then he studied Nyaya Shastra from a great scholar called Virupaksha Shastri, who had learnt this Vedanta and Nyaya Shastra, Tarka Shastra from none other than Sachidananda Shivabhina Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal himself. He learnt, and this Virupaksha Shastri taught Shri Sanjay Jayagara Bharati Mahaswamiji also. So in 3 years' time, my Guru had completed his studies of Nyaya and Vedanta Shastram. In this way, my Guru mastered the Shastras and adorned the Sharadha Peetham. When my Paramaguru was alive, numerous devotees were greatly devoted to him, seeing his learning, austerity, tapas, compassion. They wondered, will such a person ever be seen again? Will the glory of Peetham prevail? Because he had reached such a stage, we had seen such a great person. So they used to wonder. Many had such doubts. However, on observing my Guru, their doubts were set at rest, and they felt what a scholar Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji is. What a person established in the truth. What a master of his senses. What an inward turned person. So the tradition continues. Guru Parampara, Avichinna Parampara continues. Like the great Mahakavi Kalidasa had told, when a lamp is lit from another lamp, you will not find any difference. The difference will be felt, will be known only by the person who had lit the second lamp. So, my Paramaguru, Sri Sachidananda Shivavenava Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji, had taught my Guru, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal, and therefore there is no difference between my Paramaguru and my Guru. These were the words of Abhinava Vidyatirtha Mahaswamigal. So, everything, no need for anybody to doubt about anything. Then Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal undertook a Vijaya Yatra in 1924 on the request of Mysore Maharaja. In January 24, he started his Vijaya Yatra, reached Mysore. He blessed a lot of, and then he went to Mysore in old Agraharam. His guru, Sri Sachidananda Shivavenava Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal's Purvika house was there. So he wanted to acquire it for the mutt along with the next house. So they had built a beautiful mandapam there, and they made one shila of Sri Sachidananda Shivavenava Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamigal, and he consecrated that also there. So that was his desire, he fulfilled, and he made arrangements for teaching Vedanta Pravachanam every day. Then he toured to all the places, Satyamangalam. This is very interesting. Satyamangalam was the first place in Tamil Nadu from Mysore. Acharyal's natural language was Sanskrit. Kannada was his Desabhasha. Telugu was his mother tongue. So people were wondering how he is going to communicate with Tamil speaking people. Even Srikanta Shastri, in the inaugural function, he had mentioned, நீங்கள்லாம் தமிழில் வந்திருக்கேள், எப்படி ஆச்சாரியால் பேசுவார், நீங்கள் கேளுங்க அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி he just told. But then Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal, when he started his Anugraha Bhashanam, it was in chaste Tamil. So, people were all taken aback, were surprised. How? So, that was only because of Ambal's Anugraham. So, he is a Jivan Mukta. There is no, I cannot say much about him because he was such a great person and scholar. So, little I say, it is better for me. Okay. Then he visited so many places. Then he went to Kaladi. Finally, he reached Kaladi. There, he wanted to build some chowtries to accommodate devotees. Accordingly, people said yes, they will do. Then everything was completed. He came back to Sringeri in 1927, conducted Chaturmasya Vratam in 4 different places, because 4 years have passed since starting Sringeri, like Gopichettipalayam, Kunnakudi, Papanasam and Nanjankud. These 4 places, Acharya conducted Chaturmasya Vratam, blessed many devotees with his power of Mantra Shakti and Yoga Shakti. Acharya always preferred seclusion. He did not want to come to the administration side of the mutt. He did not want to even see what are the ornaments of Sharadha Ambal. In fact, he had told, Srikanta Shastri used to write everything in the notes. What all the ornaments, what are the vahanam, everything, everything is recorded. So, Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji used to tell that all the ornaments are there in the books. I don't know anything. I don't want to get involved. So, if you are ready for all those things, I will be the Peethadipati. So, that was the initial promise he had got from Srikanta Shastri. Srikanta Shastri said, yes, I will take care. You do whatever your wish is. So, we will not disturb you. Because they wanted him to be the Peethadipati. So, that he continued. He was a Jivan Mukta. He never interested in any of the Laukikams. Not even money. He will not touch the money, check or draft in his own hands. One fellow, one person who came from Bombay or somewhere, lot of samarpanam, a lot of dravyams. Along with that, he gave one paper. That was a bank draft. Acharya didn't know. What is this? He took. The moment he saw that it's a draft and all, he just dropped it. Okay, you give it to Srikanta Shastri, he will take care. So that was his, relationship with Laukikam and all those. Then when he was 39 years of age, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal wanted to give Sishya Swikaram to Srinivasan, who was just 13 years of age. So all the rituals were done. Sannyasa Diksha was given. Yoga Pattam was given to Srinivasan as Abhinava Vidyatirtha Mahaswamiji. At that time, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal was barely 39 years of age because he had realized that he would not take part in any of the Math activities, but Math has to continue, administration has to continue, somebody has to take care. Therefore, he had chosen the Shishya. Um, in between, Mysore government also helped the Sringeri Mutt in running the administration because he was not very keen on running. So they stepped in and they were also taking care of Mutt activities. Therefore, it was Acharya made it very important that he had to appoint one Sishya. He chose Srinivasa. He took special care of Sishya Swamigal and taught him the required Shastram himself and arranged for other qualified Pandits for this purpose. Slowly he kept away even from the daily pujas and spent more time in Ekantam, Antarmukham, without any other person accompanying him. He will do tapas, dhyanam in his room. He will not come out of that room at all. So in 1938, because of the request from few devotees, Acharya decided to go to Bangalore without that usual paraphernalia. He wanted to make it very simple. He went, spent few days in Bangalore, blessed the devotees. He consecrated Lord Sharadha temple in Bangalore Shankaramata. Devotees from all parts. Then he left Bangalore and he reached Kaladi once again, and he spent 10 months in Kaladi. He stayed for 10 months. So people from all parts of India took it as a chance. So they came to Kaladi and had darshan of Acharya and went back happily. Then he came back to Sringeri in 1940, beginning, because he travelled alone, leaving Sishya Swamigal in Sringeri. So he wanted to take care of Sishya Swamigal also. So he came to Sringeri. Then after coming to Sringeri, he wanted to be alone. See, that is what his purpose was. So Mahaswamigal wrote a commentary on Sri Adi Shankara's famous Prakarana Grantha Viveka Chudamani. That bhashyam on Viveka Chudamani is so famous and so popular that even today the Vedantic teachers, including my teacher, my guru, Sri Swami Paramarthananda Mahaswami, he also used to take only Viveka Chudamani means Acharya's bhashyam. That's it. Nothing else they will refer. Dayananda Saraswati also used to refer only to the bhashyam written by Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal on Viveka Chudamani. That was the quality and that power of Swamigal. This is very well revered by many Swamis, many Acharyas and all those. And he had also composed many stotras and kirtanas on Bhagavan. The compilation of that book, Bhakti Sudha Varshini. Sri Sachidananda Sivabayana Narasimha Bharati was Bhakti Sudha Tarangini, here Bhakti Sudha Varshini. He commissioned a Vedanta Pathasala in Kaladi in 1927. Because he undertook only 2 Vijay Yatras, one for 4 years and another for 2 years. We don't have much to talk what happened in Vijay Yatra. He stayed in Sringeri for most of the time. So we could pick up from some of the incidents, we could see his powers of mantra shakti and all this. See, Sachidananda Sivabhendra Narasimha Bharati Mahaswamiji lived for 54 years. He took Sishya Swikaram in 8 years. The balance 24 years he spent in Vijay Yatra, doing all those blessings to devotees wherever he went. And 22 years he remained in Sringeri, almost 50%. Now Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji, he lived for 62 years. He came to the Peetham when he was 20 years. So 36 years he lived in Sringeri. Only for 6 years he took Vijay Yatra. He went to Vijay Yatra. That was the greatness of Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal. Some of the incidents, he would be in Antarmukham. He will not give darshan to people. But when anything very important is there, the Acharyal's assistants used to go for advice and he would come. Sometimes he will come out of his room. So it is left to him. So one day, there was a telegram sent by one Rama about the fever to his younger brother Lakshmana. The Rama, Lakshmana is our character's name. But there was a telegram sent by the elder brother about the fever to younger brother. The assistant received the telegram and then he made a comment. Acharya Swamigal has forgotten the world What should I do with this telegram? When can I go and give him? What can I do? I don't know. Anyway, I will take it with me, and whenever he blesses me, I will ask him. He took the telegram, and fortunately, Acharya came out and said, "What is in your hands?" He said, "There is a telegram." "What is in it?" Then this assistant told exactly ulta. That is, the younger brother had sent a telegram about the fever for elder brother. Acharya had immediately corrected him. "You are telling other way around. You refer to the telegram and read properly." Then he said, yes, I made a mistake. Then he said, Acharya told him, I can forget the world, okay? But you should not forget the world. You should not forget your duty. So whatever he thought, Acharya told him. So he went off by doing namaste. And then long queue was there. I will give you some incidents. It's very, very interesting. It is. So one devotee wanted to talk to Acharya, but the moment he saw, he could not say anything. So he was just standing in the queue. So Acharya asked him, "Subramanyama?" He said, "Yes." Then he went. That's it. Then people near him thought that his name is Subramanyam, and he did not say anything. After coming out of the queue, people asked, "Is your name Subramanyam or what?" No, he said, "I'm not Subramanyam. My name is something else." Then Acharya asked to Subramanyam. No, he was referring to my Kula Deivam. Because all along while standing in the queue, this person was thinking about his Kula Deivam, Subramanya. Moment Acharya saw him, "Subramanyama," that's it. See, that was this Jnana Drishti of Acharya. Jnanananda Bharati Mahaswamigal, the great Mahan, he was R. Krishna Swami Iyer, he was an advocate in Tirunelveli Jilla. So then he took up Sannyasasrama in his later days. He wrote number of books about Acharyas, and we were so fortunate to know this much about our Acharyas thanks to Jnanananda Bharati Swamigal's efforts. And here I would like to tell you, my grandfather, who was in Melmangalam, Shivarama Ganapati Ganapatigal, was almost like personal assistant to Jnanananda Bharati Mahaswamiji. And when he took up Sannyas Ashrama, the first Bhiksha was cooked by my party in Kasi. So I was fortunate to be part of this family. That's it. Anyway, see, this Jnanananda Bharati Mahaswamigal, when he went to Sringeri to have darshan of Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal, he was in Antarmukam. He waited for some time. Then Acharya told, "Okay, you come." He sat in front of him. Then he told Acharya, "So many devotees are coming to have darshan. But because you are in Antarmukam, people had to go back disappointedly. They were feeling very bad. Why not you come and give darshan?" Then Acharya told, like many people are coming to see me. It is all right, but they wanted to see me as a doctor or as a mantrikar. But Shankaracharya did not establish this mutt. I was not appointed to be the Peethadipati of this mutt for this purpose alone. I am here to spread the Jnanam, Atma Jnanam, to teach Atma Jnanam. Nobody is seeking. Then he said, no, at least one or two people will be interested. He said, don't worry. If such a person is there, somehow he will find me, somehow he will come, somehow I will also have a word with him, like what you are doing now. So don't worry about it. That is what Acharya has told Jnanananda Bharati Swami. And then, when he was waiting to see him, this incident was told by our Mahasanidhanam, Shri Bharati Tita Mahaswamiji also. When I went and Jnanananda Bharati sat for some time, then Acharya said, "Wait." So he was doing dhyanam. Then for 20 minutes would have gone. Jnanananda Bharati wrote that I am very happy because I could see Acharya with a very close range without any disturbance. I was so happy. And then I saw a small smile from the Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal's face, and it went off. And then 5 minutes have passed. Nothing happened. Then Acharya came out, and then he said, "Enappa, Soikimarkya, when did you come?" and all those. Then he said, "I wanted to talk to you about something because you have come here to talk to me. But then I realized there are only two things to talk. One is Sat, Brahman, which is not perceptible to our mind or Indriyams. What to talk? We cannot say anything about Satyam, that is Brahma. Then what is the other one? Asat. Asat is what? Anirvachaniyam. I cannot explain whether we don't know whether it is existing or non-existing also. Therefore, I cannot talk to you about Anityam also. So, I cannot talk Asat or Sat. What to talk then? But then, in order to come to this conclusion, என்னுடைய மனசு ஒரு சுத்து சுத்தித்தே, சேம் வேர்ட் யூஸ்ட் பை பாரதி தீர்த்த மகாஸ்வாமி, ஒரு சுத்து சுத்தித்து என் மனசு, அதனால யூ குட் ஹவ் சீன் அ ஸ்மைல் இன் மை ஃபேஸ். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட், நத்திங் டு டாக், யூ திங்க் ஒன்லி அபவுட் ஆத்மா, தட்ஸ் இட். தட் வாஸ் த டீச்சிங் ஞானானந்த பாரதி சுவாமிகள் ரிசீவ்டு ஃப்ரம் ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி மகாஸ்வாமிஜி. Like when you compare the Jivan Mukta Sri Sanjaya Bharati Mahaswamigal, you always compare with Sadashiva Brahmendra. Sadashiva Brahmendra Mahaswamigal's guru was there. So people went to his guru and told, your Sishya, Sadashiva Brahmendra, was roaming in the street like a Peetham. He was dancing, doing something. He looks like a Peetham to us. For that, the guru told, எனக்கு அந்த பைத்தியம் பிடிக்கலையே, நான் வேண்டின்னு இருக்கேன், நான் இன்னும் வரலையே, எனக்கு எப்போ கரைக்கு போகிறதோன்னு பகவான்கிட்ட கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கேன்ப்பா, அவருக்கு வந்துடுத்தே அப்படின்னார். ஸோ only the people who are in that state, they could only understand the state of Jivan Mukta, like Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal. Ordinary people would always think that he is not well, something is wrong with him, his health is not okay, his mind is not okay. All those things people used to pass comments. Only people who knew that Atma, the Jnanam, they only could understand that Jivan Mukta state. So it is very difficult to understand and tell about Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji. When Acharyal was going to Ambal's temple to do puja, he saw a cow, Pasumad, Okandrika, Vasalla. So he didn't want to disturb. But then he saw some servants trying to drive away. So he said, don't do anything, let it be there. And it was, immediately Acharyal sat down, he started doing puja to that Gomata. Puja was over, then the cow stood up. He saw Acharyal for a few moments and then it went off. Acharyal also did namaskaram to go and then he went back to his place of stay. He did not enter Ambal's temple and did puja because he had already done puja to Ambal. See, if you refer to Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Swapakeja Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So the Panditar,